Welcome back, everyone. It's been quite a while. If you guys, the few subscribers that I do have, appreciate you guys, but it has been over a year now since my last video, and I won't get in that too much. I'll make a separate video about everything, but since the civil unrest and then COVID-19, ammo shortage, all types of stuff, fire restrictions up here, me and my wife, we now have a son, and that son is now almost a year old himself. So a lot of things have been happening, so that's why I haven't been making videos like I should have, but I have definitely a lot of content to be putting out here, and I finally got my schedule to where I'm free and I can start doing things and managing things a little bit better. So hopefully I'll be cranking out videos back for you guys, and we got a lot of stuff to make content for. Today we're going to be reviewing the Mossberg 500 ATI Tactical Edition. It's a Mossberg 500 shotgun with ATI Tactical furniture. I mean, the stock, pistol grip, Picatinny rails, ATI heat shield. It looks pretty sick. I mean, take a look for yourself. All the boring stuff out the way. Of course, it is a 12 gauge shotgun, 5 shell capacity, plus 1 in the chamber, which is common for shotguns, but I would still like something a little bit more. This capacity could be a little bit better, which they do have a, I believe, 8+1 magazine tube that you can buy for about 50, somewhere around there, and switch out. The last time I checked that, but they do have that option for anyone that wants to up the capacity, which I might get myself pretty soon. So there's that. There's a 18.5-inch barrel, and the barrel has the ATI heat shield over it. And for the sight, there's the bead sight on the barrel itself, and then on the ATI heat shield, there's actually a little front sight post. The rear sight is basically just a groove along the Picatinny rail, and you can mount optics on it. You can see I've mounted this, it's actually like a $60-$70 red dot sight by Ozark Armament, and I've had it for quite a while now. I've shot boxes and boxes of shells through it, probably around like 250-300 shells through it, and it's been perfectly fine. It's maintained zero, at least close enough to still be accurate to what I'm hitting on at up to 25 yards. I haven't really tried anything farther than that, but been pretty rock solid. But we'll get on to the sight later. So looks pretty badass. Nice heat shield. The stock is actually collapsible. It's really nice too. It has the ATI Scorpion, I believe, recoil pad on the back. Even with slugs, you do feel a thump, but it's not as bad as some other shotguns out there. It's a pretty thick, substantial pad. It actually absorbs a lot of the recoil in it. And then the pistol grip feels really nice in the hand. I like the backside, the little rubber texture on the back half of the pistol grip. But that leads into the safety, which this has a stock safety rather than a crossbolt safety, which for that type of grip style, I would definitely prefer a crossbolt safety rather than the stock safety, because then you have to break your grip, as you see. With the way the grip is, you can't easily reach it with your thumb, and you have to break your grip in order to either that, or you have to go past the trigger surrounding it and still have to break your thumb off the grip in order to reach that. And usually what I'll end up doing is having to put my thumb up here and using my middle finger to push it, and then coming back down. So that's kind of the only other gripe that I do have with it. But besides that, running this thing is really nice. I've taken it out to shoot some birdshot, buckshot, slugs, even some Aguila mini shells, which were really nice. This was my first time shooting mini shells, so. I think mini shells might be my favorite. All right, so yeah, it's pretty badass. I like the low recoil. I mean, those are birdshot mini shells. I have seen some slug ones, but I didn't want to try those. I wanted to try the birdshot mini shells just to see, one, if they even ran, which as you can see, they ran pretty good except for the first one or the last one sometimes, depending on the ejection, if you short stroke it or if you're a little too slow with the stroke.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That only happened to me one time actually, out of one box of the Aguila mini shells. I have another one, but I'm kind of just saving that for later. Those were birdshot though, so of course the recoil wasn't going to be that bad because smaller shell, less gunpowder, and birdshot's already kind of light as it was. So, but it's pretty nice to be able to shoot one-handed. So that was pretty crazy to me. That was my first experience. I wanted to test those ones out before I got any like the slug mini shells or the buckshot. So maybe later on I'll probably do another video of just testing those out, testing some different types of shells, and just to see what this gun can run through even more. See if any hiccups happen, maybe some magnum loads. I mean, it's a Mossberg 500, so more than likely it's going to run through everything like a champ. They're tried, proven, tested, and even the military uses the Mossberg 590s, which is a little bit beefed up variant of the 500, which is all that this Mossberg is, just the regular Mossberg 500, but just this time it comes kitted with the ATI furniture at the little bit extra price range. Some people might say it's not worth it, might as well just buy the regular Mossberg 500. For like what, maybe $200–300 cheaper depending where you are. It's nice because even though it's a little bit more expensive, you have all those customization options and everything already there, already in the package, as to where getting just the base shotgun and then paying for all the different items and the stock and stuff like that separately can usually add up to either around the same or if not a little bit more. So I like that it's all in one package, and I mean, it just looked sexy. And then flat dark earth with the black and the, yeah. Besides all that, also 2 Picatinny rails on either side of the front end of the barrel, kind of how the heat shield is connected on. And one thing that I've noticed after shooting it, I don't know exactly at what point in time this started happening, but the Picatinny screws that hold that together and the heat shield together have kind of gotten loose. So you can see there's a little bit of wobble to it. It's not too big of a deal. And then just the capacity, for my sake, I think it could be a little bit more, but a lot of shotguns usually have around 4, 5, 6 round capacity. So it's not too big a deal, all very minor. Also, I forgot to mention there's side saddles, hard side saddles, that are included in a part of the gun. It's actually mounted onto both sides of the receiver of the shotgun. There's these little rails on each side of the receiver of the shotgun, and it comes with 9 of these hard shell saddles, individual too. So you can put on however many you want on either side. You can either have the full 9, 6 on one side of the receiver, 3 on the other side of the receiver. Maybe put some Velcro down and have a Velcro card on the other side and leave the hard saddles out if you preferred that. So there's a little bit of options and flexibility there. So even if you're just starting out, you're new to shotguns, or this will be your first shotgun, you have everything that you pretty much need right there in the box. All right, so first things first, I got some water bottles out there set up. I got these last 5 rounds of Aguila birdshot that I'm gonna use up. Don't want to shoot at steel this close, even though it might be fine. I just don't want to chance it. Got a couple rounds of regular buckshot that I'm just gonna unload on these water bottles and have some fun, make a splash. And then after that, we'll go to shooting steel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the fun.
take you on the gravy train to Flavor Town, mother.
So I thank you guys for staying tuned in with me and for subscribing and being here with me. I appreciate you because I'm just starting out. I'm literally nobody right now, but I'm trying to kind of get more into it and get more into the gun world, the 2A world, bring some friends and family into it. I'm going to be doing more videos, hopefully coming up, from why I started this channel, why I got into guns, to some of the other guns that I haven't even done reviews on, that I've owned dang near the same time that I've owned the other guns that I have. I've got some pretty cool stuff coming up too that is still in progress. Those videos are probably going to be later because I want to get some of the other stuff out the way. Got a little teaser for you. It's not even a teaser, it's probably going to give the whole thing away, but this is incomplete, so you guys stick around. One day, yes, polymer 80 frame. Don't look at the messed up drill holes. Okay, I messed that up. This is gonna be a polymer 80 Glock 19 build that I got, or that I'm going to make. I still gotta get the upper and a barrel and figure out which one I like. I mean, everything's been so expensive or out of stock that it's been really hard to even get a hold of that. So who knows when this will be done, but this is coming up for sure. I got the frame done. I have a Glock 17 mag on for a Glock 19, but I actually like how it sticks out a little bit. Especially living in California, this is the closest I'm gonna get to a high capacity magazine, or standard even. So yeah, so that's coming up whenever I can manage to get that. And then also the other teaser, this is the big one. You ready? Yeah, what could that possibly go to? What could that possibly go to? Oh, and then here's another little teaser if you guys can see. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so we got some fun stuff coming in. I got some fun stuff lined up for you guys. Definitely got way more videos to make, so hopefully now I can start getting back to videos, getting back to the range a little bit more, really start growing and doing more things. So I'm glad that you guys have stuck with me, and for all the people that are new and just now watching my channel just from the video, and this is your first time, I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you for clicking me upon the millions and billions of other people. You could have watched Hickok 45, Military Arms Channel, Demolition Matt. I mean, you could have watched all the big names, Garantham. I mean, you could have watched any of them, but you chose to watch my video probably as well, which is good. I recommend for all the people that watch my videos and any other gun review videos trying to get information, watch more than one person so you don't just get one perspective. Always get more than one perspective. Take more than one person's word for it. That way, if anything comes up, you'll know what you're getting into. Don't just take one person's word for it. And yeah, so with all that being said, oh, also, one more thing I want to throw in there. I use a lot of cheap attachments on my guns. I mean, from the SD40 video, the little Amazon ATI Tactical Green Laser, I had some questions about it, but honestly, I mean, unless you just want something for looks, or if it's not something that you're actually going to carry, I wouldn't recommend something like that, just because one, they're cheap for a reason, and this just happens to be the only thing I could really afford. At the time anyway. And then two, especially if it's something that you're going to use to protect your life, if you're going to use that as a carry gun, not just something that you take to the range for fun, definitely save up a little bit more money, go without for a little bit, and invest in some better, more sturdy equipment that'll actually last or maintain zero as you keep taking it to the range. Like I have on this polymer 80 frame. I actually had this on my SIG as a Crimson Trace. It's like a little, I think $60 light, or $68 light, which is really bright, if you could see. Really bright. It's actually really good. I would recommend it if you're just looking for a cheap flashlight for your gun, so that way you can have something, you know, check for a bump in the night. But once again, it's cheap for a reason, because even this, the pressure switches, or the switches, are very easy to engage. So say if you have this tucked in to your holster, maybe a little too snug, or if you have it under a pillow or whatever have you, put it in a bag. If anything puts a very light pressure on these, it's going to stay on until it gets hot and kills the whole battery. And that's happened to me like 3 times with this. So it's a little side note, but that's why some things are cheap for a reason. So if it's something that you're gonna trust your life with, always invest more money. Just go with the bare bones, train with the bare bones, iron sight, train with whatever you have, save up a little bit of money, and when you can, do some research and get something that's actually sturdy, that's actually trustworthy, that will hold zero, that will work when you need it to work. Don't just go for the cheapest whatever and think that you can use it in times when you need to save your life, because it might fail, and that might be what determines if you survive or not. So just want to get that out there, just because, you know, I've had some cheap stuff on my guns and everything, and then even this Ozark red dot sight, that's only like 60-70 bucks. It's held really nice. It's held on zero on a shotgun, even through slugs and buckshot. I mean, so far, I mean, I've been able to count on it, but it is still cheap. So even if it worked for me, or if it's something that I choose to use on my weapon, doesn't mean that it's the right thing for you. Everyone's different, and I'm not gonna go into what you should and shouldn't, all that. I'm just letting you guys know. Sorry to get on a little sidetrack tangent, but just before anyone ever starts yelling and barking in the comments like, oh, why are you using this trash, blah, 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 blah. There you go. I choose to use that just because, but I know the risks of it, and I want you guys to know the risks too. So there's that, and thank you guys for sticking with me in this video. Hopefully I'll see you guys again. Please like, please subscribe, comment, tell me what you think of this shotgun and what your preferred shotgun is, or even if you have a Mossberg 500, what you run on it, what type of shotgun you prefer. If you have a Remington 870, some of the fancy boys with the Benellis, I mean, let me know what you guys got, what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching the video, and yeah, that's it. Until next time, guys, peace out. Bye. Are they gone yet? Are they gone yet? Now that we got rid of the weak at heart. Ooh la la. And yes, it is empty. Ooh la la. 'Tis an SKS, I see.